What's up, y'all? We back at it, and we got the season finale for X-Men 97 Season 2. Now, when it comes to this season finale, compared to Season 1 finale, I would say it fell short. No, don't get me wrong. This was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I just feel like Season 1 finale, that shit left you just, I don't want more. Just like, yo, damn, it was just amazing. Now, this season finale, it was amazing, but it felt like we didn't get enough, if you ask me. It felt like we didn't get enough. And when it comes to that, I feel like that's more so because in season one we got 10 episodes, and this season we only got 9 episodes. So I'm very curious what would have happened if we could have got 10 episodes. I don't know the reason why we only got 9 episodes. Maybe because everything that went down with the creator or the writer for season one. That's a whole nother story though. But yeah, I just felt like it was just so much going on in this episode. It was hard to enjoy some aspects of it, but they did deliver. It was a good finale. It got me curious to see what season three is going to be about. Because if I'm not mistaken, season three is coming. But when it comes to what happened to Gambit in this episode, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Apocalypse to still remain within him, and it was a nice treat. I thought they got rid of him. I thought Apocalypse was gone, but no, he, as you can see, he's still within, you know what I'm saying, Gambit's body, waiting for a moment to come out. Now, when it comes to this episode, it kind of reminds me of the original X Men, you know what I'm saying, show from the 90s when everybody came from the Shion to, you know what I'm saying, wipe out Jean, who had the Phoenix within her. They wanted to take her out because they were saying she threatens the whole universe. So that, you know, the Shi'ar had to fight against the X-Men in this tournament so that they can acquire Jean and take her down. Now that's what it kind of felt like in this episode for me, because you know you had it where the X Force and X Factor, they joined forces in order to get to Gambit body, because they felt like they had to eliminate Gambit because what was inside of him, which was Apocalypse. To me, it was very similar to that, you know what I'm saying, that battle or that finale, which I think that was like a 5 part, anywhere from 5 to 3 part episode back in the 90s. I remember staying late night. I think it came on like 8 o'clock to watch it. But it reminds me of that, where they were trying to take out Jean because of the Phoenix that was inside of her. So I felt like that was a callback when it comes to this finale, and man, was it crazy. Then you have it where Rogue, you know what I'm saying, Nightcrawler as well as Beast, they go to the tomb that actually created, you know what I'm saying, Apocalypse, but in the present day, to in search for a way to try to save Gambit and at the same time try to stop Apocalypse. And I thought this was nice right here. You even have it where, you know what I'm saying, Rogue tries to face off against a Celestial in this moment while this battle is about to commence between the X-Men and the X Factor as well as the X Force. You have it where, you know, Cable, he breaks through the force field barrier that they had. You got it where right as soon as that happens, you know, you have it where Gene and them already knew, like, yo, the only way they can break this force field is if they have our son. I will say, I've never, like, I like Cable more than Bishop, but I've never been the biggest Cable fan either. To me, he always just came off as a person that ran around with his gun. But I will say, in this battle, in this episode, they did him justice. They had me looking at him a little bit more differently. In fact, I have been looking at him more differently since I seen what was it, Deadpool 2. But that's neither here nor there. It's just saying they did him justice. But you have it where, you know what I'm saying, Rogue is trying to face off against the Celestial. You know, she couldn't beat this Celestial. And you have it where the Celestial tell her, in order to beat Apocalypse, you're gonna have to sacrifice something. You know what I'm saying? That's not just something I could give for you. In order to gain the power you need to save Gambit, you're going to have to sacrifice something. And you have it where she says, anything to protect Gambit. Anything. And you have it where she comes and she acquires the power she needs, you know what I'm saying, while trying to face off against the Celestial. You have it where she's saying, like, yo, anything for Gambit. She'll sacrifice it all. I love the fact that like it just kind of makes you think like, oh, this is true love, and she gets the power she desires. And once she gets this power, you see that it transforms her. I'm not gonna lie to you, the way she looks right here when she's walking out, the the fit is dope. Honestly, I don't know if we got this version of Rogue in the comics, and if we did, let me know down below. But I want to go check it out and see more about it. But I will say this design is amazing. But I'm very curious. Like, is it just her normal powers amped up to the max? Is it just, or is it new powers in itself? Very curious. But you have it where she's going to go ahead to go help out with the battle to protect Gambit, and you have it where she hugs her brother and tells Nightcrawler like, "Yo, thank you for having faith in me." That right there already told me that Rogue isn't going to make it out of this alive. And then you have this moment where after she leaves, Nightcrawler realizes this. He looks at Beast and says like, "Yo, what do you think? What do you think she meant by that?" You know what I'm saying? Then he says like, "Yo, you have to pay a sacrifice to gain this power." Then you have it where the X-Men are facing off against the X Factor, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Especially this battle between Wolverine and Psylocke. I thought this was dope as hell. Especially how she utilized her kinetic blade and stabbed Wolverine in the head with it. And I just thought that was a nice touch, man. I wasn't expecting it to go down like that. And then just them like talking against one another. I wonder if I could get the clip of it. Yeah, you see where she does the clones and then she stabs him with the psychic blade, and you have it where he laughs and he says like, "Yo, you can't scramble a brain that's already scrambled." Meaning like his mind is all over the place. I thought that was pretty dope. But anyway, you got it where my bad, it's a little net in here trying to catch it. But you got it where Jubilee faces off against Cyclops' brother, and that's one thing I wish they would have did Havoc. That's one thing I wish they would have addressed. You never really seen any interactions between him and his brother, or with him and his nephew, which is Cable. I wish we would have got that at some point, but maybe we will in the future seasons. You also got it where Polaris and Bishop are fighting against other members of the X Force as well. And next thing you know, you got this moment where father and son fights one another, or parents fight their son. You have it where Cyclops is fighting against Cable. This was a dope moment right here. Like I said, this really made me look at Cable in a different light. Like, yo, he was able to take down two of the strongest mutant, and the fact that he's using his mutant powers. You don't really see that too often, or at least I don't recall seeing it a lot growing up. But you have it where I mean, not Gambit, but you have it where, Cable defeats him, takes down half the building, walks up to Gambit, puts the bullet to the head, and just like, I didn't see this coming. Like, the way he does this and just apologize. I thought at this point, Apocalypse was going to take over Gambit's body, but nah, this dude just straight up shoots Gambit. That's like, boom, right in the head. That was a crazy scene. But you have it where when this happens, it's the awakening of Apocalypse. So I wonder if he would have never did that, would Apocalypse had woken up. But you have it where Apocalypse awakens, he comes and he starts, what I'm saying, he becomes the true horseman of death within Gambit's body. And you have it where he takes on everyone. Everyone tries to, excuse me, everyone tries to fight him. But of course, you have it where they're no match for Apocalypse in Gambit's body. Um, I mean, you have everyone step up, and then you have it where he pretty much like knocks everyone on their ass, and then he like takes over their bodies, which was unexpected. Didn't see that coming, but like I said, this was a great scene right here. This battle right here with Apocalypse, and that's why I feel like they needed 10 episodes. If we could have got an extra episode of this fighting before the conclusion, I think this would have really made the season finale that much better. If you ask me, that's just me. That's just me. But you have it where everyone's trying to face off against this guy. Apocalypse make them all his slaves, and he tells Charles he was waiting for this moment, the moment where the teacher will learn his lesson from the students, and he was going to have them wiped out. But then you have it. That's when Rogue shows up with her new celestial power, and she's able to use it to defeat Apocalypse. You have it where she flies up to Apocalypse, grabs him, and it seems as if she absorbs his essence out of out of Gambit's body. It seems as if she can pick and choose what she absorbs, and what she chose to absorb was Gambit. I mean, was Apocalypse. It seems like she could decide that while she has the celestial power. At least that's just how I'm taking it. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, she gets rid of Apocalypse, kind of seals him like in some type of jewel, gives the jewel to you know what I'm saying, gives the jewel to Nathan, which is Cable, and then you pretty much have it where she's saying to herself, "Why come I'm still here? I should be dying. I had to pay a price in order to save him." And then that's when you have Beast show up, and when Beast showed up, you see him holding the Babel of Kirk, which is Nightcrawler, and it seems as if Nightcrawler paid the ultimate price so that Rogue could live. And he says, you know, that they will go on to do great things with their lives because he, you know what I'm saying, because he sacrificed his life to save her. So you have that happen in this episode, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a sad ending. I think I would have been more hurt if Rogue died, but yeah, this was crazy. And then you have it at the end where you get this little end credit scene, and they show Mystique, and it looks as if you know what I'm saying, she took out the senator. You know what I'm saying, she sniped her and said like, "Yo, Mystique trying to take out the U.S. How right you are." And then like she finish her off, and I'm guessing this is going to lead into season two with Mystique being the main villain. At least that's what I'm gathering. Or, you know, Mystique might even find a way to bring Apocalypse back, because in the regular X-Men animated series, you know, she was working with Apocalypse. But we'll have to wait and see. I always thought this fit was like scary for Mystique. That's why when they had her in the X-Men comics, she didn't feel as fearful as she did in the animated series, because the skulls and stuff, that shit just looks crazy to me. But let me know your thoughts on this season finale. Did it live up to the hype? Are you disappointed? Are you satisfied? Curious to hear it. Let me know, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.